evils climate change poses to the environment, a special focus on Sierra Leone by Juliet, Chief Operations Officer of Stories That Inspire Planetary Consciousness, sounded by Uthman. This is an attempt to throw light on climate change as a problem, not only felt in Europe, America and Asia, but Africa as well, with a special emphasis on Sierra Leone. The poverty level in Africa has made climate change and global warming a great concern. Sierra Leone has joined other parts of the world to record climate hazards. Among them are seasonal droughts, strong winds, thunderstorms, landslides, heat waves, floods, intense seasonal rainfalls, shifting rainfall patterns, and so on. Areas in the southeast of Sierra Leone as well as the western area have been hit by seasonal droughts and floods, which have impeded or reduced successful food production capacities. Climate change is an occurrence which tends to increase both frequency and intensity of severe weather conditions, which include heat waves, drought as well as floods. These changes will possibly heighten property, crop, and human losses. The effect on society is generally destructive. For every human society, there are cultural, traditional, socio-economic, and political structures which control normal life activities. These structures are based on appreciable prevalent climate conditions. Impact of climate change on the oceans. Among the natural elements greatly affected by climate change is the water bodies, including the oceans. Climate change, which results in global warming, has greater effects on the sea levels, coastlines, ocean acidification and currents, seawater, sea surface temperature, tides, sea floods, and weather. It can also cause changes in ocean biogeochemistry. At the end of it all, this can translate into severe obstructions of the functioning of human society. The implications of climate change on air quality. Chemical composition of the atmosphere has been experiencing a steady change owing to heavy industrialization, intensive agriculture, urbanization, road construction, maritime and air traffic. These occurrences have caused changes in the Earth's temperature and hydrological cycles. All of these are products of massive concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The release of fossil fuel combustion, greenhouse gases as well as methane and nitrous oxide are on the increase because of human activities. The emission of sulfur dioxide, precursor of sulfate aerosol, particles of black carbon and organic particles have greatly affected radioactive transfer in the atmosphere with its attendant impacts on the climate. The impacts of climate change on the land. Climate change is a major contributing factor for land degradation. Land degradation is a loss of land potentials which are required for economic activities like agriculture. It entails a change in chemical, physical, and biological properties of the soil. A change in soil properties will reduce the ability of the soil to support plant growth. How climate change threatens food security. When climate change induces flooding, the livelihood of livestock will be at risk. In the Horn of Africa, Central and part of West Africa, there are farm animals that drink the contaminated flood waters get infected, and in extreme cases, they die. This has been exacerbated by drought. Animals in countries like Niger, Somalia, Mali, Guinea, Sierra Leone, etc. most times run out of pasture because of what is known in these regions as extended dry season. As plants wither and rivers dry, the animals are left with no alternative but to drink the contaminated waters. Although sometimes the oases may help, but very little, as they may be 50 miles apart from one to the other. Strategies in combating climate change are not reasonably enshrined in the political thought in Sierra Leone. Considering that climate change will result in more dry areas with wet areas becoming wetter, its threatened food security is unprecedented. If actions are not taken now, Sierra Leone will experience vertical rise and fall in air currents, which will hazardously place the country between droughts and floods. Climate change impacting health. Climate change has also resulted in mental and behavioral health conditions. This range includes anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress and suicide. For instance, after Hurricane Katrina in 2005, cases of mental illness and suicide attempts increased. In Africa, especially Sierra Leone, fear of heat has kept the poor in rural and urban areas in the open air since they cannot afford cooling gadgetry in their bedrooms. Such a situation has exposed them to mosquito bites, thereby resulting in malaria and its related health implications. Climate change impacts on the economy. Climate change-related flooding, mostly caused by rising seas and frequent hurricanes, negatively impacts Africa's economy, Sierra Leone inclusive. Such flooding has destroyed farmlands in the past, and it continues to cause havoc to food production, which in turn would translate into economic challenges for both the farmers and the country. Flooding into the waters or seas would cause water pollution, which destroys marine ecosystems. Lack of good fish products will discourage investors who would like to invest in marine life or fisheries. Our national business partners or investors will lack the capacity to help the country to contribute to gross domestic product. Hence, there will be economic starvation in foreign reserves. Lack of these foreign reserves can lead to prices of essential commodities skyrocketing. At stories that inspire planetary consciousness, we are breathing conscious energy.